Most working people would like to retire at some point, usually earlier rather than later. How great would it be to not have to get up for work every day? Why spend your morning getting ready for work, commuting, and then devote 8 hours working a job when there are many other things you'd prefer doing with your time? Activities like golfing, sitting on the beach, traveling the world, or just seeing more of your friends and family are usually considered much more attractive pastimes. However, there are some downsides that many retirees experience, whether it's an early retirement or not. Achieving financial independence and retiring early is often portrayed as the best lifestyle ever, all fairy tales and unicorns. Having the freedom to quit your job and spend your days as you choose does sound nice. But it's not a good idea to wait your entire working life for retirement if you have unrealistic expectations. Keep the following things in mind to ensure you have a clear understanding of retired life. If you enjoy videos about money, personal finance, and investing, all topics that will help you better your financial future, consider subscribing to the channel. If the video is helpful, make sure to hit the like button to see more videos in the future. You may suffer from an identity crisis. A common question people ask when they first meet each other is, "What do you do for a living?" Engineer, teacher, plumber, or whatever your title was during your working years will no longer apply. How will you answer that question? Spending 10, 20, or 30 years working a career path that no longer defines you might make adapting to retirement somewhat difficult for this reason. Answering that you've retired at a young age will leave people a little surprised, and it often results in misconceptions. Before retiring early, consider that working careers provide intellectual stimulation and keep our minds sharp and memories clear. Focusing on tasks, solving problems, and socializing with peers are all important mental activities that keep our minds healthier than whiling away idle time does, all while giving us a so-called identity. You might second-guess yourself. Many people retire and wonder if they made the right choice after deciding to no longer work, whether their retirement came early or not. Should you have stayed on the job longer and pushed through a few more years or even decades? Will you have enough money to sustain your lifestyle for the rest of your life, especially with a long retirement expected? Retiring early sometimes requires passing up money, status, and keeping up with the Joneses, as downsizing is frequently necessary. The McMansion and new cars might not make the newly adjusted budget. Many retirees choose to create another income source that will give them purpose and make them feel fulfilled, such as a part-time job, a side business, or even volunteering if earning money during retirement isn't essential. You might be treated like an outcast. We all know that the early retirement path is unconventional. Everyone's supposed to retire in their 60s, right? That's what many peers and coworkers will think as they slave away every week year after year without much to show for it. They might have a little bit of envy or resentment as they see you traveling and enjoying life without realizing the necessary sacrifices you've made to get to that point. Of course, the grass is always greener on the other side. Many people will think that there must be a trust fund involved in order to achieve that level of independence and freedom. Whatever the reason may be, people may not always show the same respect to an early retiree as they would a coworker. Having a side hustle or a part-time job helps retirees blend in with others, as people may realize that you're not fully retired, but at least you're no longer stuck in the rat race. You could be surprised that you aren't that much happier. Once you're retired, everything will just be amazing. No working, no money problems, and all the time in the world. What could be better? Many people mistakenly believe that once they leave a job and achieve the goal of retirement, they'll be 100% happier, which is just not realistic. Research has proven that any significant amount of increased happiness and euphoria won't go on forever. It's a popular misconception within employment circles that retiring early brings imminent happiness and bliss. This expectation will not only have you waiting away your working years, however long they may go on for, but it will also leave you an unrealistic vision for your future. Interestingly, financially well-off people attribute their happiness to not necessarily what they are doing with the money, but what they could be doing with the money. The freedom it provides to do as you please while not always doing those things. For example, it's been said that having the ability to purchase a new car, if so desired, provides more happiness than actually buying that car. In other words, the option to retire could provide as much joy as actually retiring. You may find yourself getting very bored. Once retired, the 8 or more hours previously spent working is freed up, and also the time spent commuting and getting ready is now available. This can leave an extra 10 hours open every day that was previously a workday. Between golfing, going out to eat, hanging out with friends, your day will be completely full, fun, and exciting, right? Sure, you'll never get sick of golfing every day and then hitting the pub for lunch and a beer, or endlessly exploring new countries. Whether we realize it or not, traveling the world will eventually get old for most of us, even if the money isn't an issue. Many retirees will tell you that there's only so many days in a row you can golf without it becoming boring. Your friends and your family won't be able to hang out as they're probably either working full-time or they have their own routines, and there will be no company picnics, holiday parties, and chatting with colleagues on the job. Some of those events could be replaced by finding new things, but you might find that they're just not the same as working in some capacity. Finding a sense of purpose for your retirement years will leave a much more fulfilled feeling at the end of the day, whether that be through a side business, part-time job, volunteering, or whatever that might be for you. Early retirement isn't the key to perpetual happiness, but it's arguably better than wasting your hours away at work, and it's surely more desirable to have opportunities to spend your time as you prefer. The most important thing is to have realistic expectations for your retirement, while not waiting years until the day finally comes. Unrealistic hopes will surely leave you feeling unhappy and disappointed.